comic book industry is in one of the worst states it has ever been in. And it doesn't matter how many times I say it or there are other people out there saying it. You're always going to be those who are out there saying, no, it's in the best state ever. Don't listen to them. Everything is good. Things are happening and it's really good and all of this. No. One by one, comic shops across the United States are closing. If you look at comics in my own country, because we never really had comic book stores in my country. We never really had that. We would have like one or two places would have like really old back issues or something. That was it. But there have been one or two stores popping up that have some comics selling in them. But that's not their main source of what they're selling. Comics are there, but they're mostly selling like trading cards and Yu-Gi-Oh! And manga and stuff like that. They're not really selling comics because they know comics are not the driving force. They're not marketable. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. So why would I take time out of my own day to go and look to promote something that literally is not doing anything for me? That's pretty much it. That there's nothing there that is actually going to help or build on anything for you. It's just rubbish. That's really it. So, a former Nightwing writer, Tim Seeley, done some work. Some of it I've liked, not some of it not so much. But he's done some work as well. And even he's coming out and saying that one of the reasons this is happening is because they just don't care anymore. Get into this article which goes over a lot of stuff involving Mark Miller also. So, former Nightwing writer Tim Seeley says comic books being pillaged for IP and collectible graded crap with no investment in building new readership to blame for industry's decline. Yeah, that's part of it. That's very well part of it. In the opinion of hack/creator Tim Seeley, the ongoing struggles of the American comic book industry is not the result of some sudden and unforeseen development, but rather the consequences of publishers' own corporate greed. Doubt that. Seeley, whose career credits include stints as the writer of DC's Green Lanterns, Volume 1, Nightwing, Volume 4, and Grayson, as well as the artist for the now defunct Devil's Due Publishing's G.I. Joe line, offered his take on the industry's current death spiral in response to a tweet made by his fellow superhero scribe, Mark Miller. Okay. Baffled by the announcement that the long-standing Manhattan location of New York City-based comic book shop JHU Comic Books would be closing after roughly 10 years, Miller tweeted on September 26, is what he had to tweet. Jim Hanley's store in New York is closing. Unthinkable news. Unthinkable news, and surely to God a wake-up call to the big two. I highly doubt it. Marvel, DC, and all the US indie companies added together are now 9% of the American domestic market. How does this happen when the characters are more famous than ever? 9% of the American domestic market. That's it. 9% of it. Because even before, I did a video before where Dark Horse Comics was saying that manga is making up over 60% of their sales. That's it. Because, you see, I said before, there's no reason for comics, movies, and animation to be trailing behind manga and anime when they could catch up. No. Instead, what you're doing is spending thousands upon millions upon hundreds of millions and billions of dollars on movies that keep failing miserably. Literally failing miserably. And then you're acting like, everybody's supposed to love this crap for it. No. Comic book stores in the United States are closing because they cannot keep with it. You cannot publish comics. And you see, Marvel and DC will pretty much publish anything. You give them some crap, they publish it. But are people buying it? No. Most stores have to sublet and put in, Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff. So the question becomes now, how do these comics keep failing when I say it's here, this happen when the characters are more famous than ever? Because you just keep writing bad stories, and this is what's going on. People don't want to read bad stories. People want to read good stories. But when you are more interested in hiring activists to push agendas in comics rather than actually hire comic book writers, this is the crap that you keep getting. Let's go on. This is the comic book store here, JHU Comics. Right. Cut 2. This is what Miller continued. The usual suspects say everything is fine, but look at the shelf space in Barnes and Noble. Talk to your retailer about cuts he's making. A strong Marvel and DC urgently required again for the health of the overall American industry. This is an iceberg tip. Yeah, people are not reading these things, but there are people out there bold-facedly lying and telling you, you know what, everything is great, everything is fine. But when you go into the stores for yourself, you are seeing that these things are failing. And people are more excited for the new anime that will come out, the new manga that's going to come out, than they have ever been for anything related or to do with Marvel, with DC in years. People are rolling their eyes so hard now at Marvel and Spider-Man that pretty soon they'll be able to crawl up walls too. Everything is so bad. You are destroying these characters and nobody wants to buy it. And the sales are just plummeting, literally plummeting. Hoping to offer some insight into this situation, Twitter user Quad92 in turn informed Miller, what the other say, manga and Scholastic are obviously moving more because the audience has changed. In recent reports and complaints I've seen, fans want more self-contained stories, fewer tie-ins for events, lower price for single issues, and I'll give Peter Parker actual development. Some of that I will agree with, some of that, no. Has the audience changed? Not necessarily. Parts of it, yes, because people grow, they change, they advance, okay. But the core of the audience remains. They want good stories. That is it. And he goes on to say that in recent reports and complaints I've seen, fans want more self-contained stories, fewer tie-in for events. Yeah, I mean, not everything has to be an event. But that's what they're doing. Everything has to be an event. You set off one story here, two story here, event. One story here, two story here, event. How many events are you going to do? I would like to read a Batman comic where Batman is doing some actual detective work for a full run. That's what I would like to see. I don't want to see Batman come out investigating some new psychopath in Gotham in issue 1. In issue 2, he catches the psychopath, and then by issue 3, into another event. What the hell? Nobody wants all of that. They want to say lower price for single issues. Okay, the price of comics is going up. The quality is not getting better. But if you are going to raise the price of comic books, so let's say about $4.99, $5 for a comic, why not increase the pages? Increase the quality of the story. For God's sakes, increase the paper quality, because so many paper that you get from Marvel, they could rub off with your fingers. If you increase the amount of stories that you're getting, the amount of pages, the amount of good stories, and they put in there for $5.99 because Marvel, or $4.99, I'm saying $4.99. Marvel could afford to do that. Marvel and DC could afford to do these things. They have big companies behind them. When you put out a $10 comic, and you call it some big oversized issue, and it's just a bunch of pages of literal feces on it, what do you expect people to do? Buy more? Come on. And they go, on and will give Peter Parker actual development. Well, according to Marvel, the best way to give Peter Parker development, have Mary Jane leave him for the umpteenth time, have everybody hate him, destroy his life, bring in a whole bunch of spider people all over the place to completely dilute the character. And every time his life starts to make a step towards the positive, drag him back because you can't do anything for that. Peter Parker and Mary Jane could be a couple. They could do things, they could live, they could enjoy it. That's what could happen. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. And this is why you keep destroying yourselves. This is what he had to say. Mark Miller responded, "The market is changing is no excuse." Exactly. Jeff Johns can move 1 million units of his Joker story. So the market is there if the stories are good. People just want better mainstream comics. This is the fiscal backbone of comic stores, and it's breaking. Exactly. Eventually taking note of Miller's confusion, Seeley would proceed to reply with his own explanation for the industry's failing health. Retweeting Miller's initial response, the Batman Eternal co-writer declared in a single deleted tweet, after deleted, "My guess is because comics as an industry are pillaged for IP and collectible graded crap with no investment in building new readership, and now the chickens are coming home to roost, Mark." I'm going to say that if you're putting out a tweet like this, put it out there and stand by it. You don't put it out there, then just delete it because you worry somebody going to tell you something. No. What he's saying is quite right. They are literally pillaging the IP farm for everything that they could get, putting out a bunch of collectible graded crap with no investment in building new readership, and now the chickens have come home to roost. You see it not just in comics, but what they're doing with everything else. There was a time the MCU was influenced by what's happening in the comics. Now the comics are influenced by what's happening in the MCU. And vice versa. You look at what's going on. They're putting out shows, things that is making you wonder what the hell is going on with these characters without sticking to the source material. This is why One Piece live action was successful, where all others have failed, because they stuck to the source material. But you're not doing that. There's a reason these heroes and stories have become the way they are, because the stories are already there. All you have to do is interpret them and tell them the way that they are supposed to be told. But you're not doing that. You're not doing that at all. We want to talk about some new comic trade paperback that Seeley and somebody else is doing here. Looks kind of interesting, maybe. But it doesn't turn down and change the fact of what it is. The industry is being pillaged, and this is why these things keep happening, because there are people writing these books who don't care about anything, and they're perfectly happy to keep pissing in the pot and acting like, well, somebody go drink it. Not gonna happen. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell if every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.